Go from the top.
This is the KYNR Take 2.
Hip Hop Drop Radio. Alan Byrd stopped by from CTS, his business. And his business is still up and running. So if you need any help with cracked screens on iPhones or tablets or what else, Alan?
Computers, viruses, laptop screens. A lot of people get these fancy high-end laptops and they break the screen and then they think that's it for that, you know? But we could swap that out just as easily as a iPhone screen. Another thing that people don't really use this a lot, but I'm certified in, and it's like what I specialize in, is computer networking and network security. I have a bachelor's of science in information system security.
Somebody out there might have just heard that right now and said, man, I've really been looking for a guy for that.
That's
Yakima
me.
Nation, tribally owned business in downtown. Hey, Alan, this is what I was thinking. You spent time in Albuquerque getting your education, and then you were down in Albuquerque and Texas and other places with these huge jobs. What was it that made you decide you would come back to the Yakima Reservation? Was that always the plan?
No, you want to know the story that sparked that up, though?
Is there a story?
There is a story.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Okay. So here's what happened. I was downtown. Well, I started in Lawrence, Kansas. I went to Haskell University. I met a girl and I graduated, and then she was from Albuquerque. She got a job as a pharmacy tech. So that's how I got stuck entrapped in the land of entrapment down there in New Mexico. I bought some property. I was with the engineer for Hewlett Packard for a number of years. And
Wait. Go back. You can't say that nonchalant, being from a place where a lot of us don't own anything. You just bought some property.
Yeah, I bought a house when I was 25 years old.
Wow, that would be the next story. Okay, keep going with this one.
So while I was down there, I was working for Hewlett Packard, but Hewlett Packard only had me working 313s, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I did them from home. So I was always remoted in from home. But Monday through Thursday, I had full days that I really didn't do nothing. So I started doing my own side jobs, right? And then that turned into me getting a EIN, a tax number, and starting a small business, getting a small business license going in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then I started subcontracting. And then I subcontracted for this little computer store called TexRx. TexRx, they did a lot of networking. And some of their networking, it was kind of over their heads. But since I came from Hewlett Packard, I just had this really high level of experience with computer networking, so I knew what was going on. I knew what they needed, and they would often call me. And one time, the owner of CityLink Fiber, the internet service provider downtown Albuquerque, he needed some networking, some routers configured, right? And they couldn't do it, so they referred him to me. So I started doing all his switching and routing. And then one day, there was a Native American company called Nova Corporation, owned by the Navajo Nation. This is a big multi-million-dollar company now, but when it was starting out, they had just this little office, 2 people, and they would call me up and they would subcontract me, you know, for little things. And they turned to their ISP, who was John Brown. He was a white guy. He owned CityLink Fiber. He said, "Send over your tech," and he sent me, and they're like, you know, they didn't expect Alan Byrd to walk in as an Indian. You know, I sound like a white, ALLENBYRD. They expected some white guy to show up, but it was me. And we started, you know how natives are. We just get to BSing and talking and being friends and joking, and next thing you know, we're friends. And that's what happened. And so after that, I started subcontracting for them, and I seen them build their company into a multi-million-dollar company. They got Department of Defense contracts in Washington D.C. And then they relocated their headquarters to their reservation on the Navajo Nation res, which allowed them to start getting trickling dollars in from the Navajo Nation into their business that made them a little stronger, right? There's a lot of reasons, tax benefits, and just being there on the res that helps you. And the thing about that is, I seen them come from the start, and I seen what they did. And my thing in Albuquerque is we're getting 1/3 of all our revenue taken by the state and by the feds every year. And I was thinking, if I move my headquarters to my reservation, maybe that will help. And also, I see this new casino going up that needs all new switches, probably some routers, and and this is what I do. This is what I specialize in. That's what I've always wanted to do, was computer networking, switching and routing. That's what I specialize in. I'm certified Cisco in it, certified Hewlett Packard. I'm just certified up to whatever. I have degrees, 3 college degrees, but my thing was that. So with that being said, that's how my road ended up here. Is like, I knew what I was doing, and I've been doing it for someone else so long, making everybody else money. And I was thinking, what if I just went home and did the same thing they did? But it didn't work out for me, right? Because the Yakima Nation, they have all these white guys that they give all the work to all the time, and it doesn't come to me. I don't know why. We're Yakima preferred vendors. We're on the vendors list, and we're Charo certified. Anyway, so that's how I ended up here, and that's how I ended up doing what I'm doing. It's a journey that let me just tell you this.
Tell me, Alan.
It's a journey that I would have never, if I would have known now what I knew back then, what I know now, I wouldn't have done it. And here's why: because it's a lot of hard work. It's mentally draining, physically, emotionally, financially. It's not fun when it's you against the world, and it's business, and everyone wants this and everyone wants that. You got bills, you got customers, you got everything around you, right? But I would not trade this experience for nothing, because this journey can't be, I can't go to school and go through it. It's hard knocks. It's here. It was, I had to, I had to walk this journey, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, I started doing this. This is what happened to me through the journey. Is I fell in love with the pain and the problems, and instead of running from them and looking for a way out, I just started going toward them and just taking them all on and just knocking them out. And pretty soon there's something else that I had become in this journey. Not just a technician or a business owner. It's I don't know how to explain it, but it's something else. And I'm grateful for that.
Hey, you inspired me right now. I didn't know this was coming tonight. I didn't know you were going to show up here. I asked you that one question. You told your story. And somebody out there might be hearing it right now saying, well, if Alan Byrd, a fellow Yakima Nation tribal member, or maybe a non-Yakima is hearing it saying, listen to this guy. He's passionate about his goals, and he's embracing the times where he's getting knocked down and beat up and treated bad, because being from this community, you're going to be humbled no matter what. It doesn't matter how great of a day you're having. There's going to be somebody who's going to do their best to humble you. Right?
Oh yeah, I've been humbled so many times. Okay, for instance, when I first got a college degree and I went to work, I thought I knew something, until things really broke and I didn't know nothing. I've been humbled so many times that it's just the way of life now. I don't even think I know anything no more, because I don't. I grew up a little, and I know what I know, and I don't know everything. That's for sure.
Well, I like the story, man. I mean, I had heard bits and pieces of that, but I had never heard it from beginning to end that way. And I know there's more. I'm sure there's more you'll tell another time when we ask another question, like how you became a property owner at such a young age.
Well,
that's a story for another time.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
I got that story, though. Let me know.
Yeah, no doubt, right? I've been here with Alan for a few months now, and I learned a lot. Every day we talk about computers and phones, and as myself, like I just said not too long ago, every day you learn something no matter how old you are, and I appreciate the time and effort that Alan has shared with me. I'm not an IT guy, but I'm learning as I go along, and much love and respect for this young man. He's definitely got it going on in the business world.
You're not an IT guy, you're an LT guy.
Yeah. Right on.
Oh, is that Snap or is it
Snap?
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Snapchat. I'm on there.
All right, we got all these different interviews going on. We got Complex Kai coming up here in just a few minutes. So let's get him on the phone. We'll have that interview in 4 minutes. Go on to YouTube, hiphopdrop/KYNR. That's might be where you're watching and hearing this interview with Alan Byrd, but you can hear and see more from shows we've had in the past. Okay? Complex Kai coming up in about 4 minutes.
Thanks for the brief time.
For sure.